in procedurals, there's a type of rhythm, a pattern that we obviously have to put out because that's part of what the expectations are. But what I enjoyed about this show is the angles that you took and the way that the stories surrounding Regina sort of evolved in her challenges. So what I want to ask you both is, Mike, for you, starting with when you were creating this, where did you want to center Regina as far as in the world of things? Because there's a standard approach, especially maybe involving a Black woman, that you could have taken, but you took it, I feel, the viewpoint slightly different. And then continuing, Amanda, with your performance, there were moments when it could have been elevated, but you kept it even, and it did so much for the scene. So I want to know how collectively that was on the page and creating it, and then once you received it, bringing that back.
I think in terms of the conceit of her character, where we wanted to center her was, she was kind of tasked with this almost insurmountable, proposition of, running this precinct, which, on paper and in reality, historically, it's had, a high rate of crime in the neighborhood. But, I think, from her being a deputy inspector, this is her first time doing this job in this position and in this role. And so, I think she wanted to compartmentalize what she had to do versus, trying to do everything at once. And because, if she tried to tackle everything at once, she was going to probably not, get anything accomplished. So I think, by first and foremost, she wanted to get to know the cops and who she wanted to lead, because she can't do anything if they're not on her side. And as we see in the pilot, there is a split of differences of opinions within our own precincts. So by her having to, get to understand and know where her cops are coming from that she's leading, I think that was a great starting point for her to start inward and then move outward with her job and then with the community. Hopefully that she'll continue to, peel back the layers and understand, what that means for her going forward.
Regina's definitely risen through the ranks, so it's not lost on her how eager she is to get things done. With that eagerness, again, meets some fragility in the fact that she has a mixed reception, right? So we see in the pilot that, and that's not much of a departure from my own experience, unfortunately, being seen as a diversity hire. And
absolutely.
Where I meet Regina is in how she handles it. Getting through the ivy walls of Yale at the time that I went through it was a sensitive navigation. And I think with Regina, it is a sensitive navigation. And
that's right.
So what she's trying to do, and we all have our stories, we all know these stories, so I'm not going to waste our time giving those people all the shine and the glory, right? But what we are going to do is deal with it head on and meet that passion, that eagerness with what she needs to get done. So it's a kind of let the chips fall where they may. I'm going in, I'm stepping into the fire, and let's see what I can do. Let's see how much I can push. And ironically enough, you see that most with her mentor, who's always the most for her. But I'm interested to see how potential adversaries, the ones that she may think she has and the ones that she doesn't even know exist yet, how they respond. I have a feeling there's a response coming. I haven't had those scripts yet, but I'm
they're coming. They are coming.
She's got to meet certain statistics you'll hear throughout the season, CompStat, which are numbers and statistics, crime rates and things throughout communities and precincts. She'll also have to answer for that. Don't forget it's East New York, and unfortunately it rivals Brownsville with a lot of the rates. So she's also trying to figure that out, and we'll have to answer for that. Whether or not it happens by the time we finish our season, I genuinely don't know, but it's all very interesting. She's a woman with really alpha qualities, and I think that's really refreshing, that her tenderness shows up in a genuine spot. It is not pushed by our writers. It is not pushed by our ensemble. It is just there. And we just play the subtext and try to read in between the lines so that things can be rooted in character, the human condition, so that y'all can enjoy it and walk away with an opinion that you can trust, not something that someone is telling you, like so many news programs try to do with us. But we are trusting you with the story to come to your own conclusions, and we leave openings at the end of every episode for you all to think, because we trust you and believe that you all are very smart to do that. So it's a little different in how we play subtext and how we play the lines, and that's going to be really fun for our audience.